Ashley Guerrero, and I'm Student Success Leader with the Centro. Today I'm here with Stephanie Garcia, and we're going to talk about the importance of visiting advisors during this crucial time period. So Stephanie, tell me a bit about yourself and why you do what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Stephanie Garcia. Thank you for having me today. I am an advisor at the HNA Student Success Center. I've been there for about 3 years as an advisor, and prior to that, I worked at the design office. So I've been a total of 6 years at San Jose State. So I know a lot about the humanities department. I know a lot about humanities. I actually graduated with a BA degree in liberal studies, prep for teaching. And then I went on to do grad work at San Jose State. So I'm a two-time grad of San Jose State. So I kind of know the process of what it takes to, go through San Jose State and graduate. And so basically that's why I do what I do, because I love working with students. I love that I get to have the opportunity to kind of see their path and guide them to what they want to do and see that ultimate goal, right? So to see the students that they want this goal, they're willing to do anything to reach it. And once they do that, they're just so happy. And I love to see that in their faces when they're ready to graduate, when they're applying to graduate, that they're just so happy that they're going to get to achieve what basically has been their lifelong goal of, going to college and finishing school and getting that degree. And so that's why I do what I do, because it's just amazing to see all these students just achieve their goal of what they wanted basically their whole life.
Wow, thank you. It's really important that there's advisors like you who care for students, and like you, for example, you went to San Jose State and you graduated from San Jose State, and now you're paying it forward by, being there for students. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
and the second question is, why should students drop in hours?
Yeah, so right now, I have this advising hour that's solely for Chicana Latinx students. And so, this is time for those students to come and see me and just ask any questions that they have, right? Especially during this time, it's going to start picking up. And so to utilize those office hours is great to do, to ask those questions that maybe, you try to do it on your own, but you want to get a clear answer. And so that's what I'm here for, to answer any of those questions. No question is off limits. No question is dumb. It's always good to just get a clear answer to whatever questions you have. If it's on policy, if it's on what classes to take, or even if it's on resources, even if you don't know what resources to look into, we can always talk about those kind of things. And I can always refer you to different resources on campus. And so it's always important to do drop in, I always say to at least see an advisor once a semester. But it doesn't have to be, but I always say that it is important that when you're ready to graduate, at least a year in advance, that you definitely see an advisor, because that's when you want to make sure that you're on the right track, that you're taking the right classes. And so, this is the time for students to be able to use those drop-in hours to get those questions answered.
Thank you. I definitely agree. I've been seeing so many advisors because I have to graduate soon, or I can decide if I want to graduate soon. So advisors definitely help me with the decision I want to make. And then given that today, October 20th, our enrollment dates became available for spring 2021. What are other upcoming deadlines that students maybe should be aware of?
Yeah, so like you said, today the appointment dates will go out, so you'll be able to see when you are able to register. Next Tuesday, the 27th, will be the actual advanced registration. So depending on where your date is when registration will start for you. But actually Tuesday will start registration for priority students and all that good stuff. So I would say start looking now to see what classes that the student needs and what the schedule is going to look like. Because even though you don't have the first priority of registration, if you're not one of those top students that get priority or are graduating senior, that you still know what's out there, what classes are being offered, and have different schedules available to you, just in case those classes go. And then the other important date is November 13th is the last day to withdraw from the semester. So if something has come up, if there's extenuating circumstances that the student needs to drop a course, that's when you would want to do it by November 13th, because then it becomes a retroactive withdrawal. And so if that ever happens, if the student needs to withdraw from the semester for this current term, November 13th would be the date to do that. And we always recommend that if students are wanting to either drop a course or withdraw from the semester, that they meet with an advisor. So definitely come in and see me during the drop-in hours, or they can come and see us at the center as well to talk about that. But those are the most important ones. Just today, the appointment deadline, the appointment going out to students, next Tuesday, advanced registration, and then November 13th with the withdrawal.
Okay, thank you. Why do you think students should visit advisors with anticipation?
So I think students should definitely see advisors because you don't want to make the wrong decision in choosing their classes, right? So a lot of times students think that they may have completed a certain requirement and then we realize that they didn't, or maybe they took an extra class that they really didn't need. And so those are things that they want to talk to us about. A lot of students might think, oh, I'm just following the roadmap. I can do it on my own. But there's a lot of other things that go into that, and we just want to make sure that they're meeting all of those university requirements, all the GEs, all the major courses. And a lot of HNA students are transfer students, and so there's other things that come along with that to make sure that if they had an IGETC or they had a CSU certificate, that those are being brought over from those transfer schools. And so making sure that those students are also meeting their requirements and meeting the unit counts. So it's always a good idea for the students to see us even before registration, just to make sure that all those things are in the system and that they're taking the right classes. So please, students, come and see me. Come and see the center, go and see your center. But yeah, definitely this is the time now because advising and drop-in is going to start picking up because students are going to start realizing that their registration is coming up, and so it's always a good idea to just start early and make those appointments early to meet with an advisor.
Yeah, because I know for me with the College of Social Sciences, for the Access Center, if you start scheduling appointments, you start seeing how filled up their schedules get. So if you're wanting to do it the day before you have to register for a class and you can't meet with an advisor, you're going to be like stuck in a pickle where you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, do I pick the classes that I assume will work out for me, or do I just like wait until I get that advice?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, in the case that happens, let's say that you can't get in with an advisor right away, you also don't want to leave with, like your appointment date coming by and just not registering for anything. There's always time to be able to, register for what you think you're supposed to be taking, and then meet with that advisor and then make those adjustments later. It's always good to just have something in your cart or something registered for, and then meet with that advisor to make sure that are these the correct classes, and if they're not, then you have that time to change whatever needs to be changed. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, right now it's gonna get really busy, but as long as you meet with an advisor prior to the drop deadline of that semester, then at least you can have wiggle room to move those classes around and get other things.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for answering these questions. Any student can find your Zoom link via the link tree that we have on the Centro page. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.